four different people playing drums throughout the show.
That is correct.
And you just said 14 people involved total?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it'd be 14 coming in, out, and
Correct.
doing different parts.
Song by song.
Song by song. Oh.
Like it's almost like a School of Rock show.
Yeah, in a way.
Yeah,
in a way.
yeah.
We got to really mind those transitions, y'all.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Like the sense memory of running shows is like, like make sure we have a staircase and no one's like, walking in front of each other.
That's right.
Make sure you got your guitars tuned. And
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting.
Fast, clear. Yep.
yeah, Stephen.
14 people.
Stephen works at. Is it okay if we? Is it all right? Stephen works at the Oak Park School of Rock.
Mm-hmm.
I used to work at the Highwood School of Rock. No longer there, but
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Pass it on to the next generation. Keep them hungry.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. There's also a School of Rock in Texas. It's the Texas something. It's got the word. It's got the name of Texas in it, and they play predominantly just heavy metal.
Right.
Good.
And some of this stuff, this 8 and 9 year old girl,
Yeah.
just doing Pantera and like Sepultura
yeah.
and just ripping it out like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah.
And it's good to keep these kids hungry.
Yeah.
Hopefully they'll come up with some heavy metal that sounds original, because we haven't had any original metal for me, at least for me, 25 years. We haven't had really anything new.
That's part of the goal. Yeah.
Yeah, and I've been listening to metal for a long time, and I can see where it needs to go. And unfortunately, people think they know where it needs to go, and it's just like more, faster,
Yes.
louder, more distortion,
Right.
and that's not where it needs to go.
Right.
Not at all.
No,
Like
it-
turn the gain knob up, turn the tempo up.
Yeah, it's
All everything. Right. Yeah.
adding
Drop D.
adding drum machines to the drummer. Okay, that's nice. It's been done before.
Right.
So, I'm not a musician. If I was, there'd be a whole different style of heavy metal I would invent.
Dude, you're the next Rick Rubin, man. You
and
gotta
like-
produce
Yeah.
albums, man.
Yeah, Mr. Wizard.
Nobody's gonna know. When you're a musician, you don't listen to what other people want you to do. You do what you want to do, and
That's true.
hopefully they'll be like, well, maybe you could try this or try that, but you don't tell people what to do. And
Well,
I'm not a musician. So.
I make the comparison because the guy, he's not a musician, but his knowledge of music is vast.
Yeah.
Vast.
I think
I'm
it takes both types of personalities to really get it out there and to be heard. It takes someone of Rick Rubin's character and confidence to say, "Hey, this is good to listen to, kids."
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Rick Rubin. Well, recently his reputation's been more of, you hire him, you pay him a lot of money, he meets you at the studio and he
Barefoot.
says, "Give me a call back when you guys got your stuff done."
Right.
Right.
And he leaves and he doesn't come
Right.
back until
Yeah.
And
Eno's kind of in the same boat now with that too. Like you can get to a point with him where it's like,
like, okay, here guys, do something ambient. I'll be back in a week.
Right.
What are we paying for?
records, right? Yeah.
No, like the old-fashioned producer, like Bob Rock. Do it again.
Right.
Do it again. Until the people are absolutely insane or addicted to some type of a chemical.
Right.
That's the way to do it. So let me ask you this: favorite albums, personally. If you
period, no matter what.
It could even be like top 3 or top 5, even top 5 albums. Wow. High fidelity.
So not just Crimson. This could be anything.
Anything. You.
Ooh. Signals from Rush. That's my Rush album. Believe It from Tony Williams' Lifetime. The Seldom Seen Kid from Elbow. And
they're coming to town,
Yeah, I got my tickets.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Because they're so big in the UK that like they'll play 20,000 seats. They'll sell out arenas there, and they play the Vic.
Yeah,
or
we get to see them at the Metro.
Yeah.
You guys got to hit me to Elbow.
Oh yeah, and then St. Vincent, probably the self-titled one with Digital Witness in that. Was that 5? I think that was 5-ish. I mean, I left one out. We'll put Lamb Lies Down on Broadway on there.
Yes.
You ever read the story in the middle of the
Oh
album?
my God! Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Makes no sense. Just waste time looking at words and flowing from one word to the next.
in between water pipe poles. So
No, supposedly not.
no, well, not Peter Gabriel.
No,
he was a straight dude.
Not well known for that.
Yeah.
Let me go.
Yeah.
In a Silent Way, Miles Davis.
Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that album never ages for me. The complete recording sessions, I find it even more inspiring. I mean, that is for me ground zero for jazz fusion. That's arguably one of the first fusion records. And just going back to that and hearing all the different collaborators, Tony Williams, John McLaughlin, Zawinul, Herbie, Chick, all those guys, what they're contributing to that is just an amazing album for me. After that, probably Voivod's Nothing Face.
Oh, yeah.
That was the album that kind of bent my brain on getting out of okay, this is thrash, or this is we were talking about what's the next thing in metal. Voivod just kind of did their own thing.
They're huge Crimson fans too.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. Piggy, Dennis DeMoor,
Yep.
Rest in peace. One of my cardinal guitar influences, but that dissonance, the stacking of tones, the way he did his chord shapes and all that, you definitely hear that resonance. That was one of my gateways back into Crimson, was just getting into the Voivod when I was a kid in high school. And okay, you could take thrash and do this weird sort of, it doesn't have to be formulaic. You could just drop whatever the hell you want into it, make it really avant-garde. So that's a Desert Island disc. Sonny Chirac.
Nice.
Ask the Ages.
Yes.
Is,
Wow.
One of
Yes.
Sonny's another one. That whole album is a burner. Just everybody on it. You got fucking Elvin Jones. Sorry, I'm cursing here. And just with Pharoah Sanders, and that, that's another one. I put that on. I'm never get lost or just I always listen to it start to finish, and it's just always an inspiration for me. So that's 3. Fourth album, I probably have to pick a Rush album, and for me it's Hemispheres.
Yep.
That's actually a gold standard album.
That's
for
the one, baby.
Bass tones. I mean, compositionally it's there. It's that's their most, they really went off the charts in the jazz fusion territory and nerded out completely. But
Absolutely.
when I'm doing an album in the studio, I go back, I put that on, and I go back to the engineer, and I'm like, that's the bass tone I need. That's what
right.
I'm looking for right there. So, and then just all the playing on it's amazing. The writing is, to me, really solid. It's not the Radio Rush that we all know and love as well, but that's the Muso Rush for me.
Yeah,
that's 4. And then 5th album. Probably Sonic Youth would be Daydream Nation.
Wow.
That's getting into noise and getting into that sort of world of just, it's avant-garde, but deconstructed music where you just have different thought processes. In the same way Crimson's music challenges you to think about things differently, to me, Sonic Youth kind of did that for me as well. Of you don't have to be confined to a standard tuning or a standard approach. And you start thinking about things from an orchestral perspective of okay, the 2 guitars can be doing 2 completely different tunings and 2 completely different harmonies. That's up to you to figure if you're going to try to learn this. But it's not based on regular rock rules. And, that with that sort of punk intensity, another album I can go back to, and it just, I find other layers of stuff in there and pieces that are just fascinating. So.
Yeah. So for me, it's "Hit Me Baby One More Time" by Britney Spears. Let's see.
It's a burner.
Bop by Hanson. I think Nelson is up there too. No. So, ask me on any given week and I'll give you 5 different albums. But I thought, you know what? Let me just go to my phone and the albums that have not left my phone since I put them on there. The first one is We're Only in It for the Money by the Mothers of Invention. I had that when I was 9 years old. Mm-hmm. That was the first thing that just took the top of my head. It still takes the top of my head off. Yeah. And I know that thing it's in my DNA, that album, Every single note of that is in my DNA, and it still wows me, right? Ace Frehley's solo album from 1978, when all the Kiss guys did their solo albums.
Yeah. With the poster. Did you keep the poster?
Yeah.
Yep. Still on there, right? Let's see. If I had to pick a King's X album, it would probably be either Gretchen Goes to Nebraska or Faith, Hope, and Love. Ty Tabor is one of the most amazing guitarists that you've probably never heard of. Radio Free Albumeth by Stuart Hamm. Has Alan Holdsworth and Joe Satriani on it. He's one of the best bass players that ever lives. Road Games by Alan Holdsworth, or Metal Fatigue, or any one of those from the 80s. And then anything by Zappa. Anything. There's 65 albums to choose from. Pick one. And then I'm looking at USA for MOD, because they have to put some kind of metal in there. Yeah. You know.
Nice.
USA for MOD, Method of Destruction, as it were.
All right, Steven, you're up.
So my phone's not working down here, so I'm going to have to just go off the top of my head, Mr. Wizard. So I'll go with Love Supreme, and then I love that record. I keep going back to it. It exploded my brain when I heard it. And 70s. Why am I blanking on the 70s? Let's go with, there's this album by Bill Evans and with the strings arranged by Klaus Ogerman called Symbiosis. You familiar with that record? There's a certain movement on there called Largo, I think. It's movement 2 that is just exquisite. It's 9 minutes of pure exquisite music by Bill Evans Trio and Klaus Ogerman. So I'll go with that. So for King Crimson, I'll stick with Discipline, because I've owned it on every single format you can possibly name except DAT tape.
Or mini disc.
Or mini disc. Thank God I skipped the mini disc.
I know, right?
I didn't fall for it, Mr. Wizard. I didn't fall for mini disc.
All y'all young kids, man, you missed all of that stuff. You're
sorry,
lucky
Coz.
you. Lucky you.
Not pre-recorded. I had one for field recording.
And then, so for Rush,